Whatever feels good. It depends on how mad you get, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
So, as we continue down this Wednesday Night Wrestling remix, we enter into March of 1999 for WCW Uncensored. What went down, sir?
Well, good sir, we have the WCW World Cruiserweight title match. Billy Kidman retaining against Mikey Whipwreck.
Dude, it's crazy. I think every time I see that guy's name, Mikey Whipwreck, it's a loss.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever in WCW. But I mean,
ECW.
I was about to say,
he lost all the way up until he won the title, and I'm like, wait, Mikey Whipwreck was ECW champion?
He was the first Triple Crown champion in the company, I'm pretty sure.
Which is shocking. Yeah, what was it? It was the tag title run with Cactus Jack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he fell into a TV title run.
Yep.
But damn near by accident, and then same with the world title.
Yeah, and then the world title was like, holy crap, Mikey Whipwreck's the world champion. What happened?
Good time.
And yet the crowd lost it every time, so clearly he was doing something right.
Exactly. I mean, that's something Paul's big into is figuring out who people are into and riding that
riding the wave until it doesn't ride no more. Let's see. Next up, you got the Harlem Street fight between Stevie Ray, who wins, defeating Vincent. Singles match with Nash coming out with Luger and Miss Elizabeth. Nash, of course, defeats Rey Mysterio, who is currently unmasked, I think.
Yeah, he lost it last pay-per-view.
All right, yeah.
In that tag gimmick with Conan and Luger and Liz on Nash's side.
Well, I'm glad to see they're keeping Rey Mysterio Jr. real strong here. Losing it 6 minutes.
Well, as you know, he has taken lots and lots of L's up in this trip down memory lane. So.
Yep, I know. Let's see. 2-on-1 handicap match. Jerry Flynn?
Yep, Jerry Flynn.
Okay, just making sure I wasn't misreading that.
Yep, not Jerry Lynn.
Yep,
that's a much more talented,
individual. Much more athletic.
Yeah, so
underappreciated.
So Jerry Flynn was talented. He just wasn't charismatic. Although I mean, I guess you could. Some people would make the argument. Vince, I think was his name, would make that argument about Jerry Lynn. But yeah, Jerry Flynn was a big, tall dude with a flat top who loved doing karate stuff. He was a part of that whole Ernest Miller canyon glacier vortex that won't ever,
gotcha.
go away.
Well, he defeated Sonny Ono and the Cat. So.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. The Cat, Ernest Miller. Yeah. Pulled up in that vortex. He's
I'm glad you mentioned.
Never gonna get out.
Save the time.
Oh, and as you know, Sonny Ono is all about the martial arts.
Oh yeah. Sonny Ono, the most talented martial artist I've ever seen in my life.
Him and those throwing stars. Like got him and Eric Bischoff up in I almost said AEW, AWA.
Oh man. Let's see. Hack defeats Bam Bam Bigelow and Raven.
Do you remember who Hack was?
No clue.
Oh my goodness. So WCW, I don't know if they couldn't or didn't want to call Sandman, so they called him the Hardcore Hack, and then the Hardcore Hack got cut down to just Hack. That's Sandman.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh my god.
He got an action figure in that run.
His name was Hack.
I know. I didn't say it was a good call. I didn't say, this great idea they had. No, but yeah, that's the Sandman. And that's why Bam Bam and Raven are. Because, we're trying to do ECW and WCW.
Oh, yes, I'm noticing. It was a false count anywhere triangle match. Fucking Hack, what the hell? Oh my god, just call him fucking Sandman. It's not even that hard, and if you can't, just, I don't know. There's better names than Hack.
I would imagine so.
Oh my god. Okay, next match. World Tag Title match, Lumberjack with... Man, this is too much going on in this match. Lumberjack match with straps. 4 Horsemen, which is Benoit and Dean Malenko in this iteration, defeat Barry Windham and Kurt Hennig to win the tag team championships.
Hey, rap is crap. They're the West Texas rednecks.
Yeah. My thing, there's so much, a lumberjack with straps, man. So,
it's stupid.
It's
so stupid. And the weirdest part is
so annoying.
The weirdest part is every one of those guys. You take the gimmicks out, no lumberjacks, no straps. Every one of those guys is a great wrestler.
Yep.
Barry Windham, excellent. Kurt Hennig, amazing.
Yep.
Benoit, people thought was one of the best in his time, and Dean Malenko, legitimately one of the best
in his time.
In his time, absolutely.
Very easily. Listen, take out the stupid gimmick match. This is a great match. Great wrestlers. It went like 17 minutes.
Another interesting part of it is all former Four Horsemen members. I mean, or in the case of the guys who are currently in the group, current Four Horsemen members. I mean, current or former.
Yeah. And at some point in time, they were all Four Horsemen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, their fingers fell in that.
They did this at least once in their lives.
Exactly.
Let's see. Following that, we had a dog collar match because, of course, we did with Perry Saturn and Chris Jericho. Perry won. And then you got your World Television Title match. Booker T defeated Scott Steiner to win the television championship. Scott came out with buff stuff. Was he? Yeah, he was buff at that point.
Yeah, because in '99. It's post all of his New World Order gimmick.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. And then, let's see. Last but not least, well, surprisingly enough, this is shocking. I can't believe this.
What's up?
So, first of all, the world title was headlining the show.
Woo!
But then also Red Hawk Hogan was in it, so that's why
that's how that works.
Yeah. So, get this gimmick, right? Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
First blood, steel cage match. Gimmick inside a gimmick, brother. Keep it in hot. Flair defeats Hogan to win the WCW World Title. So at least Hogan didn't win, I guess.
Well, and now that we're done with the legit timeline, so upon thinking about it, I understand this much why the tag title match or the tag team match between the Horsemen and the former Horsemen had a gimmick because Uncensored was WCW. I'm going to take one away, is what I'm saying. I'm going to take one away. But what I'm saying is I understand why the match itself should have a gimmick is because Uncensored was WCW's version of WWE's Extreme Rules pay-per-view, where at this Uncensored pay-per-view,
that's why it's uncensored.
They say, all the rules are thrown out. We're doing it hard. They don't say hardcore because ECW was hot and,
ECW owns that pretty much.
Yeah, they were ready to go. So, but they said, all the rules are gone and we're doing crazy stuff. So what I'm going to say is, let's just take the strap away from the tag match and let the Horsemen fight the former Horsemen with other dudes watching them do the damn thing. Like, that's so much easier. It keeps it more together. And so now that we got that cleaned up, most of the rest of the stuff is fine. It's basically harmless. So that's fine. But let's get to the main event, because the main event is very, very important to me. There's no Hulk Hogan in this main event. There are two other men. Ric Flair and Bret Hart. They're both challenging in a... Oh, and also, let's make another quick little change before I book this main event. Yeah. The other change is that three-way Falls Count Anywhere match is now strap match. Because I took it off the tag. Yeah. Because I'm putting this Falls Count Anywhere match, or the three-way Falls Count Anywhere match, in the main event. Ric Flair and Bret Hart are challenging Bill Goldberg for the double straps that he's holding. Although at this point he's probably just got the one nice one with the new logo and the
star logo,
exactly,
unified belt,
exactly,
title.
Unified title.
Yeah.
So here on the night of March 14th, 1999, Bill Goldberg spears Bret Hart. Let's say outside the ring into the ring apron. Goes into the ring and jackhammers Ric Flair. 1, 2, 3, wins.
Okay.
This is important because on the next night, on March 15th of 1999, Bret the Hitman Hart is going to come out. And mind you, in my world's booking, Bret's never been a vile villain in WCW. He's been a man who was wronged by the Federation, and a man who, while helping the NWO win their own show, has been a perennial good guy on the show. And almost always proving that he can out-wrestle folks while said show exists. If you remember right, he won the television title. Right. He unified it with the world heavyweight belt. Yep. He works with Jim and Davey for their own sub-faction within the NWO concept. But now that there is no NWO and WCW is one with WCW Nitro is one with Thunder and they're just a shared roster, Bret Hart comes out the night after Uncensored and he says, in the best way he can, because he's never been the greatest speaker. Yeah, exactly. He's never been the best speaker, but he's good at getting his point across. So he can do this. He's gonna come out and he'll say, hey, Billy boy, you didn't beat me at Uncensored. And actually, let's bring something forward by just a few weeks. So let's have Bret out in his Calgary Hitman jersey, right? Okay. And he's gonna say, Bill, you didn't beat me. He's like, as a matter of fact, you had the ring beat me. He's like, if you're a real man, you'll come out here, you'll face me one-on-one, and whatever it takes to get Bill to get Bill out there, right? Yeah. Talk so much crap that when Bill comes out, Bret drops the mic and eats a spear. But when Bret eats the spear, he gets up before Bill does. And he picks up the mic and he says, I'm challenging you, Bill Goldberg, in, hold on a second. In the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, on March 29th. So this is, 2 weeks from now. So 2 weeks from now, I'm challenging you for that world heavyweight title in the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And then Bret leaves. Before he leaves, he takes off the jersey to reveal the metal plate, the
gimmick that he's been on TV in real life.
Exactly. Yeah, so we just move it up 2 weeks because the Air Canada Centre is where Bret did the gimmick, but I'm going to have him do it 2 weeks early because before we get to Spring Stampede, we're going to the Air Canada Centre. We're booking in the main event, Bill Goldberg, 177 wins with 0 losses against the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. The excellence of execution, the homegrown hero to Canada, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Beautiful.
And on this night, Bret Hart defeats Bill Goldberg. Damn. He does it with a pile driver for the finish, just because I don't want Bill to tap out.
I got it. Bill has a weak neck. Yeah, neck of sand.
Well, like I said,
if you get the joke, you get the joke.
Absolutely. So I just don't want Bill to tap out. It just feels out of his character. Fair. But I also don't want to pass him out
because that's lame.
Well, it was good when they did it with Steve Austin at 13, but I've never seen Bill. I've never seen Bill blade, and Bret already cut Steve too deep. So let's not just repeat that. Let's just have Bret hit a move that he does in matches and pin Bill Goldberg. And it's it'll be surprising because it's not the sharpshooter. B, it'll be surprising because Bill's never lost. C, Bret's a babyface. He's been babyface this whole time, so it won't get a negative reaction. But also, it's in Canada, so it won't get a negative reaction.
It's in Canada, it won't get a negative reaction.
And so, that's how I would personally end the streak. And this also is kind of for anybody who thought, oh, I loved when Bill won the world title on TV, but I don't book it that way. This is a make good for that. So you get a big event on a Nitro, and maybe you can even justify it by saying, oh man, we've been losing to the Steve Austin show. Let's try and do something to get people to turn that channel without, saying stupid lines like, oh, that'll put butts in seats and crap like that.
Yeah, not the best.
No finger pokes and all that crap. So, anyway, that's how I would book the end of the streak, where I would book the end of the streak, and why.
Beautiful.
But now we are moving on to Spring Stampede on 4/11 of 1999.
Alrighty. Let's see. They opened up the show with Juventud Guerrera defeating Blitzkrieg.
Oh yeah, Blitzkrieg. Yeah,
I forgot about Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, he had a good look. Yeah, great talent.
Yeah, this is a great talent.
He's one of those guys though that when WCW ended, it was like he just never existed.
Pretty much.
There were, I mean, unfortunately, there were a lot of those guys, but he was on the list. Like,
yeah. I think there's literally tons of guys you've forgotten about from WCW.
Well, the funny is WWE loves putting out that list. Oh, tag teams you won't remember, and superstars you won't. I'm like, every time I look, I'm like, I remember.
You also watched it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I grew up on that.
Yeah, I didn't. So I'm like, oh yeah, this guy. Oh, I don't know who this is. Oh, this looks a lot like this guy, but with a different name. And then I come to do some research and find out, oh, that's exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
Okay. Case in point. Bam Bam Bigelow defeats Hack, who I just recently learned was Sandman.
So bad.
Yeah, it's so bad. Hack came out with Chastity. Who's Chastity? Or am I reading this wrong?
No, you're reading it right. She was just some random ballet chick. She was basically filling the role of Beulah or Francine or whatever.
Women or whoever else.
What?
Woman.
You woman, absolutely. Yeah. The list goes on.
Yeah.
Tammy Lynn Cinch.
Man, I honestly forgot he had a lot of manners. That Sandman.
Well, I'm just saying all of those are ECW valets, and they would be ballied about between each one of the guys at different points in time. But yeah, I don't actually think she was one of the ECW originals. I could double check, but I'm pretty sure she's not an ECW original. I think she's just a filler.
Filler for this role.
Yeah.
Especially since I think at this point his woman would have been more.
In real life, for sure.
Yeah.
In storyline, I don't think she's even on TV.
Yeah, did she retire at that point or leave or whatever? I can't remember what she did.
Well, she's home with the
kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Let's change the subject.
Yeah, all right. Yep. Sorry. Yep.
No, you're good. It's just like it's awkward.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Scotty Riggs defeats Mikey Whipwreck.
Again, he can't win.
Mikey Whipwreck.
Yeah. And speaking of Scotty Riggs, love that guy.
Yeah.
God, I love that guy.
For sure. Conan defeats Disco Inferno. I can't believe Disco Inferno.
He's there till the end. He is there
to
to the end. That guy cannot go. I mean, he just won't leave.
He won't leave.
Which is, I mean, it's good on you, man. That guy had a long run.
Props to him for making a paycheck. I can't fault a man for making a paycheck.
And out of this, that's how he did it.
That's his whole gimmick.
It blows me away.
Incredible.
Freaking 1999 and Discoing it up.
What a year. That's crazy. Let's see. You got the WCW World Cruiserweight title match. Apparently Ray won this belt sometime during TV because he is currently the Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in defense of that, Cruiserweights were very much the highlight a lot of times of Nitro, especially in the 3-hour era.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, because it's the same basic problem that Raw being 3 hours has, which is it's too damn long.
Yeah. That ad money, man.
Oh yeah, I get why they do it. I understand. I'm not saying I'm oblivious. I don't get it. But like I just
as a watcher,
it's
hard.
Too long. Yeah, it's too much. Yeah. Actually, have you watched the new Vice show? Not Dark Side of the Ring, but Tales of the Territories.
I haven't watched it yet, but I have heard of it.
So they dropped the first episode on YouTube to try and entice people to watch, right? And so Dutch Mantell, Jerry Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and Jerry Lawler and Jimmy Hart are the talking heads in talking about Memphis, right? Yeah. Because the first episode's on Memphis, and
Jerry Lawler in it.
Yeah, so in this episode or on the episode, right? Yeah. Jeff Jarrett talks about how that Memphis wrestling did something different than all the other territories, which was have an hour and a half long show. They said sometimes an hour's too short, and a lot of times 2 or 3 hours is way too much for a week. Yeah. But 90 minutes was enough to where they could always give you that cliffhanger of like, now you want to come back.
Come back next week to see what happens. Oh my gosh!
And I'll give Nitro credit. Like Tony Schiavone was notorious for. We're out of time, folks. We gotta come back. Especially in the NWO era,
in that frantic. Oh my God! I don't know what's going on. We're gonna have to come back next week to see. Oh my goodness!
Exactly. And so
which I did love.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so I understand strapping up Rey Mysterio on a TV show. Yeah. Especially when you took something from him. Yeah. So give him something in return.
Listen, I'm never against Rey Mysterio Jr. winning any championship. Sure. I was just acknowledging
Absolutely.
One pay-per-view, he's not the Cruiserweight champion.
And he's losing to Kevin Nash.
And he's losing
which
to Kevin
is not
Nash.
a Cruiserweight match.
In 10 seconds, I think I said.
And then, not long enough.
And now he's Cruiserweight champion.
Yes.
But yes, he definitely needed something. Retains the championship against Kidman, the former champion. Mm-hmm. And a match I'm sure was phenomenal.
They always delivered, whether they were together or apart.
Yeah.
So
top class talents, both of them. Billy Kidman is like one of those talents, like you remember him, but you don't really remember how good he is until you watch him again. Because like I watched the Kidman match, I think last week or something for some reason. I can't even remember who it was.
For sure,
he wrestled, but the match was phenomenal.
That's cool.
Enjoyed every second of it. That shooting star presses.
Yes.
Ooh. Beautiful. Sorry, I went off on a cruiserweight tangent.
You're good.
My bad.
No, that's one of the highlights of WCW. If you can't talk about cruiserweights, there ain't no reason to be here.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see. Four Horsemen, which is Benoit and Malenko with Anderson on the outside, defeat Perry Saturn and Raven in just a bog standard tag match.
Sounds good to me.
Let's see. U.S. title match, tournament final match, vacant.
Yeah, they love vacating titles up in the air.
Yeah, so this is like the $7th time the
U.S.
probably vacant.
Oh my goodness.
At this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steiner wins the championship, defeating Booker T. About 15-minute match. Good for Steiner.
Yeah.
Is he Big Papa Pump? By this
Oh, he's
point?
definitely Big Papa
deep
Pump.
into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's like, let me talk to all my freaks out there. yeah. All right, got it. Let's see. Goldberg defeats Kevin Nash with Luger and Elizabeth. About 7-minute match. It was a Goldberg match on pay-per-view. And then finally, last but certainly not least, we have a fatal 4-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship with special guest referee Randy Macho Man Savage. We got DDP, Hogan, Flair, and Sting, and Diamond Dallas Page wins the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. You'll love to see it. What are your thoughts?
So here are my thoughts. I love Diamond Dallas Page.
How can you not?
And he himself loves this match.
Fair.
But I can't book that as the main event because Bret had just won, 2 weeks? 2 weeks prior? 1 week. Maybe, yeah. Whatever. 1, 2 weeks, whatever. No time.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking the title off of Bret yet. But much like I did with DDP and his Bill Goldberg match, I'm just going to move it down the timeline.
Yeah.
Because that moment is so pivotal to Page. And what I mean by that is outside of Dusty Rhodes, most people didn't believe that Diamond Dallas Page, even Diamond Dallas Page at times didn't believe Diamond Dallas Page could be a draw or a top guy.
Thank God for Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, and so have you watched DDP's documentary that WWE put out? So WWE put out a documentary called Positively Page.
Okay, yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
And at the climax is when Trips calls him and says, "Hey, we want to put you in Hall of Fame."
Yeah.
But I love early on where where Page is managing Scott Hall and he's not booked, and he goes to them and they're like, what do I need to do to get on the show? And Dusty's like, I mean, just look at you, Daddy. He's like, you're so big, you make everybody else look small. He's like, you can talk, but you just need to be in the ring. And so from that point on, Page would go to the power plant. And he would put in the work. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move Page to wrestling Kevin Nash, because in this Nash is wrestling Goldberg, right? 7 minutes, you said.
Yep.
So. Goldberg is going to get his rematch against Bret Hart in the main event. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition Page into wrestling Nash.
Works for me.
Put Page over, because him and Kev were actual legit friends.
Yeah.
They later went on to form a tag team called the Insiders. A rib off the Outsiders. But nice. Page can go over on Kevin. They're good friends. It helps keep him in the right trajectory. And honestly, I've already strapped him up one time anyway. Like he was one of my only 5 guys.
OG 5. Yeah.
But regardless, he's gonna get his first run with the big gold belt, not the classic '90s later on down the line.
Yeah, the Star Platinum belt.
Exactly. Yes. I love that. I like that. That's good shit.
Thank you.
Because I called it the gold star title. But
Ooh,
yeah,
that's good.
that's I like yours too. Either one works. But like I said, in the main event, Bill Goldberg at Spring Stampede gets his rematch. He's now 177-1.
Right.
And at the end of Spring Stampede, I'm ripping off WrestleMania 13. Bret gigs Bill because Bill has never cut himself. He bleeds too much and he passes out in the sharpshooter. I don't care that it's a complete ripoff. I'm ripping something off that's perfection. And so even if this isn't perfection, it's still going to be pretty alright.
You're still going to get the point.
You're going to get the point. And that way, Bill doesn't take the 1, 2, 3. He doesn't have to tap out. He passes out. But unlike 13, there's no Ken Shamrock. Bret's not being a dick. What I mean by that, by not letting go of the hold, right?
Yeah, got
So the ref calls for the bell. Bret lets go because he's still the perennial good guy. He's still the clear-cut babyface, and so that's what I'm getting at. Like you see the reflection of 13, but there's a growth in the Bret Hart character.
Yeah.
And so these are important pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
So yeah, that's how I would book Spring Stampede in a way to keep Bill protected, to keep Bret looking strong, and to keep Paige on the rise.
Works for me. Good stuff.
So we're moving on to Slamboree. So I don't know about you, but I think WCW has some of the greatest pay-per-view names. Uncensored. I think it's far superior to Extreme Rules. I think
definitely better than that.
I think Slamboree. Now it's a little country because I think of a jamboree, down in the hills.
I think that's the point.
But I just think Slamboree sounds good, kind of like similar to Impact's Slammiversary.
Yeah.
But it sounds good, and like the last pay-per-view on this episode, the Great American Bash.
Great.
Let's be real. Everybody loves that freaking name. Yeah. So much so that Triple H said, "Hey NXT, this is yours."
Congratulations, guys.
Okay, but yeah, at Slamboree on 5/9 of 1999, what went down, my man?
Well, Perry Saturn and Raven got their win back, winning the World Tag Team Championships in a triangle match, defeating the Four Horsemen, which by now you know is Benoit and Malenko with Arn, and Kidman and Rey Mysterio.
That's cool. I mean,
okay.
Who in the,
I didn't see that one.
So, let's go over the participants one more time. Perry Saturn. Raven.
Yep.
Dean Malenko.
Yep.
Chris Benoit.
Yep.
Billy Kidman.
Yes.
Rey Mysterio. Jr. Who is the odd man out? I'll give you a hint. It's Billy Kidman.
Yeah.
He's the only man to not wrestle in ECW.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
But regardless of the ECW connection, they're all so freaking good. I love these guys. I thought Saturn was so unique. Whether he talked to the mop, whether he wore a skirt, whether he wore mascara, you're welcome.
He's done a lot of weird stuff.
He was so unique, and Raven was so intellectual and psychological.
Yes,
whether it was taking people's kids from them, or convincing the young kids in TNA that they needed with that cane. Like, he's just so good at convincing people and the audience that he's. Did you see him get inducted in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Impact. So
I haven't watched it.
I
watch it.
I bet you'll never guess what he does after he's inducted.
$20. He DDTs Tommy Dreamer.
Oh my goodness, you did it.
Oh, was that serious?
That is seriously.
Oh shit! And I bet he said something sweet to him right before too.
I love those guys.
I love you, man. You're my best friend. You did so much for my career, and then right after DDT'd him. I feel like that's something Raven would do.
So
I can't believe I called that.
Yeah, it's so Raven. That's so Raven. I love this show.
Oh man, it's great times. Man, listen. In all seriousness, though, love Raven to death. He's always been an awesome performer. Doesn't matter where he's been, even in WWE. When he was just doing the hardcore stuff.
So they wasted him, but he didn't waste a moment he was on TV.
Not
with the
all.
Shopping cart and the just every
small stuff.
Every time
Raven was so good at doing the small stuff.
Exactly.
Man. He's so incredible. Apparently Kidman and Mysterio were the tag champions. I'm not sure when that transition happened in TV, but I'm sure it was a great match between them and the Four Horsemen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, this triangle match happened, and I'm sure this match was incredible.
I love
as
these
well.
guys. Love these guys.
Honestly, I might have to go back and watch this because I do not remember seeing
Let's see
this
if the
match.
card gets worse. What happens in match 2?
Conan versus Stevie Ray. Conan beats
Well,
Stevie Ray.
it's already a step down.
Yeah, a little bit. Not the best pickup. Bam
I
Bam.
guess we had to give the crowd a chance to breathe. After
Yeah, I'm
all
about to say, you have a great opener match, and then you calm down the pace. You don't do anything too crazy. That's why Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho were insulted by having the second match on Mania.
Well, Vince didn't like it, which it was fine, but it shouldn't have been.
It was a perfectly fine match, but considering what the match could have been.
Oh, absolutely.
And instead they did what, Goldberg and Lesnar that year?
Yeah, but in that match's defense, it was way better than the time before that, or the time before that.
Yeah.
So that third one was the charm.
That third one was literally the charm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked that second match where Goldberg came in and just crushed Brock.
I mean, it was interesting. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, as far as a match goes.
As far as watch back value, I guess it's not.
So I'll mention this. So I'm beginning this trip down memory lane when I'm reviewing a WCW pay-per-view.
Right.
I have such fond memories of this pay-per-view because when I was a kid, I would wear out this damn tape. Actually, I think it's still down here somewhere. I ain't gonna dig through the magazines to find it, but I'm watching this 1991 Halloween Havoc, right?
Right.
So I was remembering the first match I gave a 1-star rating to, and then it made me think about how much I didn't like it, and how much, and I was like, oh man, I should probably give this match that I actually have fond feelings for a 1 as well because it's really, really trash. And I was just like, I hate. Have you ever had that where you like, oh, I got such good feelings and you want?
Yeah, like you know the match was bad, but
for some reason you like it.
Yeah.
I'm actually that way with the Power Rangers too. I love in my head. I love the Power Rangers, right?
Yeah,
and
I do
put
too.
on Power Rangers. I'm like,
how did I watch this as a kid?
Yeah, what was wrong with me?
Right. So there was this post somewhere, I can't remember where.
Sure.
But it was there was this Power Rangers episode where they literally brought back just like all the Red Rangers from the past.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think it was called like Forever Red or something. It was like
something like that.
It was like a Wild Force Power Rangers episode.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
And like they were just doing all the transformations. I remember thinking as a kid, oh my god, this is so cool! All the Red Rangers. And then they do the little pose and it explodes red in the background. And then like pyro shoots off for no reason. And I'm like, man, I loved this as a kid, but this is so cheesy now that I'm like grown.
Exactly.
But don't get me wrong, I definitely, when I have kids, show my kids the Power Rangers.
Well, it's funny. So my sister's kid, he's big into Power Ranger right now. So yeah, I understand.
I was about to say it's literally meant for kids.
Yes.
And once you're not a kid anymore, you probably won't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
But it's
like
fun.
I said, I still have fondness for it.
Yeah, I'm about to say I still have fond memories for it. I can't say a bad thing about them.
Like
most
well,
of my childhood.
I will definitely say Green with Envy.
Oh.
Still good.
Yeah, that's still quality TV.
Yeah. All right, what's next? Sorry, I got off track.
Yeah. So we ended up talking about Power Rangers to avoid talking about Bam Bam Bigelow defeating Brian Knobbs. And then,
well, one of those guys is a really good wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Love Bam Bam.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Brian.
I mean, I thought the Nasties were.
Nah, you're good. You don't have to defend the Nasty Boys. I know you're talking about Bam Bam. They were there.
They were a tag team.
They were definitely a tag team. That's a good shout, man. That's that 5-star analysis you guys are looking for here on YouTube.
So if I was to put the Nasty Boys, if I was to give them a rating, they'd be a 2 out of 5. They're a passable tag team. Because my 5-star rating goes like this: great, good, fine, passable, and a fail. They weren't a failure as a tag team because.
I mean, to be fair, there has some longevity and success.
Yeah. So I would consider them a passable tag team.
They've been hired by more than 2 companies, so I will give them.
Well, and the World Tag Team Champions, WWF, WCW.
They went in WWF.
Oh, so they're the ones who dropped the titles to the Legion of Doom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember that.
I forget who they beat. For some reason, I feel like it was Money Inc., but I could be. I could be mistaken.
The worst part is that sounds right, but I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah, so I know Money Inc. was in a feud with the Natural Disasters.
Yes.
Because they were both fighting over Jimmy Hart.
Right. for some reason.
But the Nasties were in that mix too.
And then they just kind of slide in and said,
then,
you don't need the tag title.
Eventually, the Nasties had the titles. They had Jimmy Hart as well, and then they dropped them to the Legion of Doom.
As you do.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got tag straps, Legion of Doom are going to carry that.
I was about to say, if you got tag champions, you're like, all right, do we got the Road Warriors in the company?
If we don't, let's get them.
If we don't, we'll get them in.
Or in the modern age, let's rip them off.
Yeah,
Let's just throw some face paint on somebody. Damn.
Listen, it's 100% effective right now. Listen, I gotta give props to the New Day and the Usos because they are like the only like non-Road Warrior ripoffs that I believe are like legitimately great tag teams in WWE.
I think that's about to change. So Hit Row, I think will
on the come up.
Will eventually be seen as a
and the Street Profits. I apologize, forgot about
for sure. Well, once again, they're a team on the rise.
Yeah,
clearly they're
young guns.
They're a step above Hit Row.
Right.
But even with Legado del Fantasma, I think
who just got added last night.
Absolutely, I think I think they will eventually be in that same conversation. Fingers crossed, hopefully.
Yeah, that would be the dream. But yeah, they definitely have some potential. My point being, if you want a Road Warrior ripoff, you probably aren't going to have a good run.
Right, yes.
Unless you're the New Day or the Usos.
Street
Profits in the come.
I think Demolition is the closest thing to a Road Warrior ripoff that worked because they were similar but far different enough to where that it succeeded. Because like the Powers of Pain were the real Road Warrior ripoff because Warlord had Hawk's haircut and Barbarian just refused to get Animal's haircut and had just a basic big flat top. I remember that. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody should get. I mean, I've had.
Everybody should have the double. I don't know what the heck you call that.
Well, Hawks was a double mohawk, right? Which is what
just has the.
Well, it's funny. He had a single mohawk, but it also tied to his sideburns.
That's right.
That's how weird. That's how his was weird.
I knew it was weird somehow, but I couldn't remember how.
It was because it tied to his sideburns.
Okay.
It was
that
weird.
Makes so much more sense. Well, it
had a rat tail too.
Yeah, I forgot about the rat tail.
Like it was just like whatever I can do to be strange. And the craziest part is these guys walked around in real life looking like that.
To be fair, I mean, if I saw them walking down the street, I'm not going to challenge them on that.
Exactly.
But I said, like, those guys were huge.
Absolutely.
Like literal giants. I'm not, like, it'd be different if they were Rey Mysterio size. I might say something. But, no, they would literally pick me up, and they were both bouncers. They could literally pick me up and throw me
wherever they
across
wanted.
the street.
Yeah.
No problems. How do we get on this topic?
Brian Knobs being in a tag team.
Right, Knobs. Okay. So right after that, we had the World Television Title match. Rick Steiner defeats Booker T to become television champion.
Two great tag team wrestlers right there.
Top tier. I keep forgetting Rick had like singles gold because no one really talks about him because Scott was insane.
I agree. But I think there's a chance he might get more praise now with his son on the rise.
I agree. Yeah. As he should, to be fair. I'm not.
Oh, yeah. I know you weren't saying he didn't deserve the praise. It's just he didn't get it. But I think he'll actually start getting it now.
Yep.
More so.
And I'm more than happy with him. Let's see. Then you got Gorgeous George with Medusa, Miss Madness, and Randy Savage. They really need to calm down with all these managers in the match.
You're gonna love this. You don't know who Miss Madness is, do you?
No clue.
Tell me what's going on in the match. I'll tell you who Miss Madness is after you finish.
Gorgeous George beats Charles Robinson, the referee.
Yes, the referee. Okay. I didn't want to talk about this match anyway. So we'll just talk about who Miss Madness goes on to become and how awesome she is.
Cool.
So Gorgeous George, trash.
Yes.
Medusa,
great.
Good. Yeah, good to great. Yeah, But Miss Madness is my favorite member of Team Madness. Do you know who Team Madness was? Literally these three chicks and Randy Savage because Randy Savage is nuts.
All right.
So, Miss Madness goes on to become Molly Holly. Molly. I know. Yes. You did. I knew you didn't know it. Yeah, so Miss Madness.
Miss Madness is Molly Holly? I love Molly Holly.
No, it's so cool.
Oh my god.
So she's only in WCW for like
a cup of coffee. It has to be.
I'm gonna say 3 months, 5 at max, but 3 to 5 months she's there, right? But Savage goes and gets hurt, and so they just let his whole crew go because he's out injured.
Right.
And so then she goes and signs with Vince because
As you do.
Yeah, exactly. As you do. But yeah. God, I just need to
So it's Molly Holly.
Focus on Molly Holly
Oh
and
my
not
God.
that we got a referee freaking match with a woman. Ugh.
I love Molly Holly.
Yeah, she's so good.
She's the best. I hate that she was like bullied so much because she wasn't like supermodel attractive in the eyes of
She's
Vince.
attractive though. Come on.
Yeah, no, she's a gorgeous woman. Let's be honest. That she's a drop dead gorgeous woman. Is just
she can wrestle too. Like
in Vince's mind, she's not blonde. She's not Trish Stratus. So that's bothering me.
Or Sable.
Or sorry. Or Sable.
Yeah.
Of course. No, but Molly Holly was beautiful and could wrestle. So my favorite kind of wrestler.
I know, right? All right, so
awesome.
what's next? Because I got to stop thinking about this woman wrestling or beating a referee wrestling match.
I stopped thinking about that 20 minutes ago. Let's see. Then you got U.S. title match. So the Steiner brothers, both with singles championships, because Scott retains against Buff the Stuff Bagwell.
Buff Daddy.
Then next up you got Piper defeating Flair, who came out with Arn Anderson and Aja by DQ.
Oh, you don't remember Asia?
Asia? No.
Do you know what?
Oh, wait. Is that the China ripoff?
She's the China ripoff.
That's how they spelled this?
That's how they spelled it. That's Asia. So literally the whole gimmick is she's bigger than China. That's why they picked Asia, because Asia is bigger than China.
Also, was she bigger than China?
I think by this much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember her, and then I remember seeing China, and I'm like, I feel like China's still bigger than her.
I think it's just
China, it might be a height thing.
China had way more talent.
Maybe that's why.
Is the dealio. Like, China had way more talent because Asia was just
she was
a
just
body.
a look.
Yeah, just a look, exactly.
Because she was a legit, like, shoot bodybuilder, right?
Both were, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on again. I swear, this going down this crap makes me want to drink. Literally the last one we shot, I had a drink on the side.
Yeah.
I about pulled it onto the screen because.
Well, this next match is gonna help.
Oh, great!
Goldberg versus Sting ends in a no contest after 8 minutes, which is great. Love that. I don't even want to know why it ended in a no contest because I don't really care. And then let's see, World Heavyweight Championship match. Kevin Nash beat DDP in a hardcore match to take the world title off DDP.
All right. Okay, gotta wash all this trash out of my mind and let's talk about the good stuff. So, here in my timeline, in Mr. Super Oz's world, babyface Bret the Hitman Hart is still world champion. Babyface Diamond Dallas Page is still on the rise. And here at Slamboree, we have American Hero, came from nothing, Diamond Dallas Page, taking on, the way DDP sees it, raised in the business, your daddy got you where you are. Where you're at. If it wasn't for him, would you even be here? In the main event, Slamboree. They go a solid 32 minutes, and Bret he's not bad, right? Mind you, he's not bad. This isn't a bad thing, but he repeats a gimmick that he did in the WWF. Once again, because in my mind, he did all his best work in WWF because Vince knew how to treat Bret up until the end.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat a spot that Bret had with Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
Oh, God, I remember this.
And so Bret, or DDP will be working on Bret, keeping him down. And so Bret, or Page is going to try and pick up Bret for the Diamond Cutter, and he's going to keep falling. But one time when he goes to fall, he's going to grab Page's head, he's going to roll him up in a small package, and he's going to get the 1, he's going to get the 2, he's going to get the 3, and Bret retains. But again, Page is still a good guy. Everything's fine. Don't panic.
Everything's fine.
I'm mostly saying that for myself because I'm still mad about all this crap that I gotta wipe away, get rid of, fix up. So, what happened in the real timeline? We had Page in the main event with Nash, right?
Yep.
Nash is wrestling Randy Savage. All the women are on the outside with him because they're not taking on Charles Robinson. That's lunacy.
Ludicrous.
Oh my goodness, I hate it. So, not doing that crap. So, like I said, that's a way to keep Savage involved, keep the women involved, and like I said, Charles Robinson can just be the referee because Charles Robinson is a referee. How hard was that? My goodness.
It's a game changer.
Whew.
Referee being a referee. Wow. Oh my.
I'm sure there was something else that was burning me up, but let's just pretend like it didn't happen.
Sting match?
Goldberg's in the. Goldberg gets his win because Sting is a humble man. He doesn't mind to lose.
That is accurate. Yeah.
And Goldberg is a guy who's already lost twice, so let's do it that way.
Got it.
All right, let's go to the Great American Bash, and please God, let it be something worth having, please.
Hack defeats Brian Knobbs. First match.
It's not worth having. They're not good wrestlers. Please, okay. Number 2. What's next?
Van Hammer defeats Mikey Whipwreck.
These are not good wrestlers. I like Van Hammer, but
Number Bagwell defeats Disco Inferno.
Those aren't good wrestlers either. There's not one thing you've said right now that makes me think, oh, this is a great wrestling show.
The No Limit Soldiers, which is Conan and Rey Mysterio Jr., defeats the West Texas Rednecks.
No, you didn't live through this. You were alive, but you didn't live through this. The No Limit Soldiers are Master P's gimmick.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Rey Mysterio and Conan versus who?
West Texas Rednecks. So
Which
Bobby
ones?
Duncan Jr. and Kurt Hennig.
Thank God, we finally got good wrestlers in this ring.
Yep, that one went about 10 minutes. So.
What was the length of the first 3 matches?
5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes.
Cancel them all. Give all the time to these guys.
Works for me.
Moving on.
All right. The Cat with Sonny Unknown defeats Horace Hogan. I forgot Horace Hogan was in the company. Ric Flair defeats...
I'm definitely drinking tonight.
Yeah, that's the vibe. Ric Flair with Arn and Asia defeats Roddy Piper by DQ. Again.
That was another thing I wanted to unbook. I love Rowdy Piper when he's in his prime. I love Ric Flair when he's in his prime, but neither one of them are in their fucking prime right now. And this stupid Asia joke is not funny.
Yep.
Sorry, continue. We're almost done.
Yep.
This episode's almost done. I hope I live through it.
Non-title Falls Count Anywhere match. Rick Steiner defeats Sting.
Hey, good wrestlers.
Yeah. I don't know why it was non-title if he was going to beat Sting anyway, but... let's see. WCW World Tag Team Title match. The Triad, which is DDP and Canyon with Bigelow on the outside, defeat Benoit and Perry Saturn to become tag team champions.
I'm sorry. I'm struggling to even hear what you're saying. That's how mad I am.
It's all good.
Are we almost to the finish?
Yep, this is the main event.
Thank God.
Kevin Nash defeats Randy Savage with his Triad of women by DQ.
Okay. Let's... Trash. The main event of the Great American Bash is Diamond Dallas Page versus Bret the Hitman Hart. They are doing a 1-hour Iron Man match because DDP believes in himself. Bring up Dusty Rhodes. Talk about the hard times that got him to this moment. And in the main event, the first fall goes to Bret Hart when the bell rings and Diamond Dallas Page kicks Bret Hart in the fucking... damn it. I'm so mad. I gotta figure out how to bleep that. When DDP kicks Bret below the belt, ding ding, Bret gets the first fall. Second fall immediately goes down when Page pins Bret. The match goes for another 59 minutes. In the climax...
You good? You need a couple
Yeah. In the climax, Kanyon comes out to distract the referee because Page doesn't need any more disqualifications. The Triad hasn't been made in my timeline. This is where they're being made because Bam Bam Bigelow attacks Bret from behind. He rolls out. Kanyon gets down. Bret's down. Page goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Diamond Dallas Page defeats Bret the Hitman Hart for the world title at Great American Bash. And
final score 2-1?
Yes, the final score 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, that way it justifies all the stuff that Page has been going through and his story arc, and more importantly, we're in the year 1999. We're quickly approaching the end of WCW, and for some stupid reason, Vince saw Paige as a bad guy, so I'm pre-booking with Vince in mind, and, granted, it happened in real life too, but I'm doing it in a different way. I'm leaving him in a tippy-top spot as a bad guy, and, that's how we close out the Great American Bash with Paige holding the Gold
World
Star title,
yeah.
or the Platinum Star, or
Star
whatever.
Platinum.
Yeah, Star Platinum, exactly. Man, I really hate having to bleep myself, but I apologize for being so upset. But if you would like to enjoy good storytelling, not the terrible, terrible, terrible year of 1999 in World Championship Wrestling, I implore you to go to the description of the video, click the link, and pick yourself up a copy of my 68-page graphic novel, Everlasting Survivors, all day long. There are 2 covers. This is the Jeff Hicks cover. This is the Nick Crook cover. Like I said, enjoyable, good, fun, action. There's only one F word, and I apologize for being a bad boy, but this is why we do the Wednesday night wrestling remix, because it needs to be fixed. Come back next week, come back this weekend, and continue joining us down the road of fixing the errors of World Championship Wrestling.
Boy, there's a lot.